Remix. 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 Remix.
Oh, yeah. Welcome out. Once again, it is time for the Remix Morning Show. Right here on Black Liberation Media, in case you didn't know. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor, and we are here to bring you that boom bap breakfast. Yes, it's what's needed. You need that nourishment to get you through the week, and we got you. All right, so I can't do this by myself, but right now, the rest of the hosts is still getting ready. Oh my God. Anyway, thank y'all for tuning in. We got a dope show today. Today we will be having Kim Brown, and we will also be having Kamal K. Franklin. But for right now, you got the Ear Doctor. So let me tell you about myself. Psych. Anyway, so we're pretty much waiting on the others to get here, but you know I don't never like to start late. I like to start on time, so therefore, I'm on time. All right. So with that said, we are going to be talking about, who knows? But I will tell you I got some reviews on the new album I listened to. I'm going to talk about that. Also, what else I'm going to talk about? All right, so boom. Later on at 11 o'clock, we're going to have another classical breakdown. So make sure y'all come for that. We're going to break down a bass player. So get ready for that. It's going to be pretty dope. Kim came up with the idea, and bam, we're going to bang you on the head with it. And also, I got a mix for y'all. Nice little blend. So get ready for that, too. And I brought out my muscadines. So people that didn't know, they going to know. I believe we're ready. Kim Brown. Kim Brown.
You're such a jerk.
All right.
Such a jerk.
What did I do? I came on time.
You saw me leaned over trying to put another earring in. Like you witnessed me. You could see me doing that.
What did I do? I came on time.
Whatever, man. That's why I couldn't work for you, boss. I'm only 5 minutes late. You gonna write me up?
Hey, I mean,
only 5 minutes.
You ever had a muscadine?
I don't even know what that is. What is that?
Wow, it's only like a down south thing. It's like a grape with tough skin, and you just eat the inside with seasoning.
Don't they make isn't that a wine? Don't they make?
Yeah,
a
they
wine
make
out of
muscadine wine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And I got me some sour sop leaves. Yeah, so I can make my little tea.
Curing cancer, one cup of tea at a time.
all the plastic intake we take from these water bottles, we gotta do something. You know what I mean?
Everything, shorty. Microplastics in everything. Everything.
I even got to get it, switch up my cutting board. I got to get me a wood cutting board because that get in the food too.
Yeah, I got rid of the nonstick cookware that I had. That's done. So we only doing cast iron, stainless steel. They're advertising like this ceramic, whatever the fuck. I'm like, yep, I'm probably gonna get one of them, but no more nonstick cookware in the house.
It's nothing better than an iron skillet. I tell y'all that.
Cast iron
skillets. Yeah, they
Woo, good cooking, good hitting too. If somebody, you know what I'm saying, pick that joint up. Woo!
You just gotta keep them well oiled, just so you know they don't get rusty. And
Totes my goats.
So where you been, yo? How you been?
That's all you wanted to talk about. With Trump out here roughing up people at Arlington National Cemetery.
Oh, word? Something went down? I don't even know. I don't even know. Where you been?
What you mean where I've been? I've been where I'm at.
Don't be questioning where my whereabouts.
You don't question me. You know what I'm saying? Don't be questioning.
How you been though?
I've been great. I have been doing great, Ear Doctor. I am so glad that you asked. How are you, sir? You getting ready for your after school programs? Have they already began?
Next week. I'll be doing during school and after school. So I'll be doing.
Whoa.
Yeah. I got I got a middle school. I'll be doing the class at one day a week. So yeah, just popping my head in, popping out real quick.
What are
So
you teaching at the middle
uh,
school?
hip hop. I'm teaching about hip hop. I'm teaching about violence. I'm teaching about drug use. Teaching
All
about
of that goes with hip hop. Yep. Go ahead.
prevention of sex.
Good.
Trying
That
to.
is important, by the way. Like, I want to talk about this on my show just as something to mention. But
Hmm.
there was this TikTok of his sister from New Orleans, so she's giving you all the New Orleans, affect and accent, and she's like, "Baby, y'all need to go on and get y'all tubes tied because
Mm,
y'all out here playing games, and you mad that nobody want to watch the kids, and these grandparents is 35, 40 years old. Ain't nobody watching no children, ain't nobody babysitting no children. Y'all better get y'all tubes tied." But to me, that leads into a bigger conversation about birth control and
mm,
which to me includes condom use. Ear doctor,
mm-hmm.
ain't no. When is the last time you saw a commercial for condoms of any kind, like like even a print ad for
Never.
Trojans?
I'd never do. Never
Show they
seen.
and conversely, how much condom ads did we see in our youth coming up?
I mean, not really. Any.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I guess I was the only one looking at the guy.
Yeah.
Tell me what you was not doing. Well, tell me what you was doing. They used to be condom ads. There used to be condoms for Trojans. Lots of print ads for Trojans. The messaging, even within rap music, got to get my Jimmy hat, make
Yeah,
sure I stay strapped.
Jimmy.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? No, nobody condom. What's a condom? What do condoms even do?
Mm,
And as it pertains to birth, pregnancy prevention and disease prevention, I do not think that younger folks get that messaging. It seemingly
mm-hmm.
not at all. I wouldn't say, not as much. It don't seem like they get it at all. It's wild. It's wild.
Leah Boggs. You said a whole class. It must be a charter school. No, it's not a charter school. They actually bring me in through physical education, and I'm able to.
Ow. You should have
Yeah.
looked a shot. That was a shot at you, and
I mean, it's all good. I mean, I get in where I can fit in. You know what I'm saying? They
oh,
allow it, and I'm gonna get right up in there and teach what they not teaching.
tell
So,
me how you're going to teach the kids about that. Like, I'm
what
curious.
part?
Well, the sex part. How do
Oh,
you?
playing different songs they listen to and asking them what do y'all feel about that? Have you ever sat down and actually listened to the lyrics? I'm gonna take the beat out and let them just listen to the acapella.
But what
And
if in the lyrics they're discussing things that kids might be reciting the words to, but they actually don't know the
we'll talk
meaning of?
we'll talk about it.
Uh okay, okay. I
Yeah,
mean, what's the joint that the old girl sing? What's I don't know one of them
sexy
little
red
who talk about the pink and the stink.
booty. Yeah, booty hole brown. Pink, yeah,
I mean, are you going
yeah.
over that with the oh
Oh,
shit?
definitely, definitely. You go over that stuff like that and be like, is this is what it takes to sell records nowadays? You just have to talk about these certain things? Is it all about every time I listen to a song now, it's got some type of sexual lyrics in them, and I'm just
You
like,
want the
it's
children
all.
to identify the sexual lyrics? Tell me, I'm not
You
following,
have to come to my class, Kim.
nigga.
I'll save you a seat in the back. It's too. I get paid for these
Like,
classes.
I want
Yeah.
to know, are you bringing out the cucumbers in the box of condoms? You feel
Nah,
me?
we not doing it like that.
Oh
We
man.
not doing all that. No, I'm not doing. This is not sex ed class. This is more talking about music and using the music as a tool to talk about other things and get them to be open. Because in school, all they do is get talked to all day. They never get a chance to really talk and express their thoughts. So this is going to be an open space for them to do it.
Cool.
Yeah. So, I'm not saying I'm the super professor, teacher, intellectual like all y'all would like me to go in there and be, but they can pretty much they can understand what I'm talking about and they can see where I'm coming from because I'm coming at them with their music. So they'll listen and they'll give me an ear. Unlike some people that use big words and they be like tuned out as soon as they start talking. You know.
You're talking about the kids be tuned out.
Oh yeah, yeah. As soon as they start talking, then some people try to come in there and they don't know how to approach. They don't know how to get on the level with the person they talking to, and then they lose them. So yeah.
Okay. Well,
Anyway, I was
best of luck with that.
I don't do luck. I just go in there and do it.
Okay.
Listen,
Solidarity then, nigga. Whatever.
uh, that luck line is like a slight to me. It's like, you know what
Is
I
it?
mean? Yeah, it is. It is. Speaking of slights, come out, okay, Frankie.
Kim,
Hey, good morning, Kamal.
that's all your medicine. You got your dog on there, the medicines
Oh yeah.
next to the dog. Is that dog dead or that's a live dog?
Whoa,
No, that's a
whoa,
picture of a
whoa.
dog in the back.
I know it's a picture. I mean, is it a picture of it like, you know, when the dog is deceased and they keep the picture? Oh, that's a dog thing. Oh, my bad.
I'm sorry. See, my studio is also my dog feeding and medication station.
Oh,
So
that's all for the dog or you?
none of this is for me, sir. None of this is for me.
God damn, that dog's sick.
I know.
First of all, I'm not doing this, but
Is
this,
it time to
this
shoot
is a
it?
supplement. This is Cosequin, which dogs, you use for your hip and joint. I won't put the prescription, but she has ibuprofen, and then she has a prescription for her incontinence. So she's only on really one medicine.
Your
And then
dog is a granny.
great granny. She's almost 16.
How old is she? 16?
She will be 16 in November.
How old is that in like human years?
It's a lot. She's like
400.
110.
Oh, I think like 400. Yeah.
She's very old.
110.
So I try not to get too grumpy with her, like if she has like an accident on the floor. Cause I'm like, yo, if I'm 110 and I take a dump on the floor, please don't put me out to pasture just because I dumped on the floor. Like, so, but otherwise she's fine. She's just old.
Does she do walks? You take her on walks and all that kind of stuff?
She has a wagon now. She has a wagon.
Like a red wagon? You take on the red wagon?
Yeah, she has a wagon.
Wait a minute. So I'm assuming you have help, but my view of this is that you who are like, you're partially blind, so you got the dark glasses on. You might have a cane in one hand, and you pull in a wagon on another.
Oh my God!
And
keep going.
And you pull in the dog in the red wagon, and you got on like an outfit. I got you in an outfit, girl. Like you're the sexy.
Am I in a muumuu or what am I in? Am I?
It depends on what day. The hair might be the hair. It depends on where the hair is that day. But because I only saw you in person once, I got you like in a red outfit. A couple of the boobies might be showing a little bit, but you got the dark glasses on. You got a cane, and you drag it.
I don't use a cane for that reason.
It's my fucking it's my not fantasy, but my view. My view. You dragging the wagon.
Dragging the wagon.
Well, no, it'd be a different story, fantasy. But then the dog is pooping in the wagon, kind of.
Oh no, she doesn't poop in the wagon. She has class out here. I mean, she's
got class.
She's not uncultured. Sometimes she has an accident in the house, but she know that she don't poop in the wagon. It's not. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Actually, my dog. I will.
But this is why we didn't get the dog, because the dog that we dog sat. And the dog peed in the girl's bed, my daughter's bed, and the dog peed on this chair that we had. A little light pee, but still pee. It's like
pee. Yes.
It's like, yo, that's pee. You're not supposed to be housebroken. So that was like, nah, we're not doing that. We can't do that.
Yeah, I would like to see y'all with the dog. Maybe when the kids get a little older, I would like to see.
Yeah. They can't do that right now. We're not down with that. You gonna bring on
that dog can't hear. I don't even know why you trying to whistle.
She can hear. She can see. Like the dog is. I mean, again, she's just old. Like that's it.
Did it come?
No, but that's because she's stubborn. Like she's not interested in commands anymore. She ain't. She's like, what I look like following directions. No,
I've earned this rest.
Where my food at? That's all she knows.
All that matters. That's all that matters.
In my meds.
Because again, she will go to the bathroom in the house, so I have to.
And I basically want that dog's life. That's what I want.
Dogs live. They just sleep all day and wait for you to bring them food.
Old folks home. I just need the computer, somebody to roll me around, clean up the mess when it's on the floor, because I agree it probably will be on the floor. Change the diaper. That's all you need. Life is good.
She's got it good. She had it rough her first couple years. She wasn't with me her first couple years of life. So I try to, overcompensate maybe, but she's fine. This dog, she's had a great life. Even when she goes up to yonder, it will be a celebration because this dog has lived. She's been to Canada. She was at the beach. I mean, she's been a couple places out here. She's been to Toronto. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's chilling. She's had a good.
Traveled more than here, doctor.
You ain't lying, man. I don't go nowhere.
Where's your pass? You got your pass? Your passport, bro? Where's your passport, bro?
I got a passport, but
where you been?
Only Bahamas,
Island,
Mexico, and
Jamaica,
Bermuda. Nah, I ain't been to Jamaica yet. Bermuda,
Never
Mexico,
Jamaica?
and Puerto Rico.
I got engaged in Jamaica. That's why I did my whole thing.
Did you?
Yeah.
It was
I
real
like-
Irie.
It was a cliffside mountaintop restaurant.
Oh wow.
It was, it was because the sun was just right. It was like early evening, starting to come down. You know what I'm saying? And the water, you get the water crashing on the waves.
So where did you hide the ring on the way down? How did you keep
We did. They bought the thing, and the ring was in part of the thing that they bought. Part of the.
I'm talking about traveling with the ring. on your
Oh, that was easy. I mean, no, that was like in my bag, like that I checked in or whatever. We went to a friend's wedding, and I got permission beforehand if I could do the engagement, like, because I didn't want to crash her thing or whatever.
Yeah.
She thought it was fantastic to do it. We did it after their ceremony at a different time. We all stayed a few more days with them, kind of thing. So yeah, no, it was beautiful. I did the whole one knee. I got on the one knee thing.
What?
Oh, I did the whole thing. Dirty to
Right.
pants.
white linen and your sandals. Oh, I can picture it.
I was
Wow.
gorgeous.
Was you
was
nervous?
I was slightly nervous. I mean, I knew, at that point, we've
You
been
knew
through
she
a
was
lot.
gonna say yeah.
Shh, son, come on.
I feel you, my man. I feel you. He's like, come on, I ain't even gonna waste my time. You know what I mean?
I don't want to marry, wanted to marry me. Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on. It was all this 15 years ago.
Yo,
You
pick
know,
up
you
your
know this
chest, man.
now.
Pick up your chest. Son.
Imagine 15 years ago. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Word.
yeah, I seen you 15. Well, at least I think you had the picture with you. How the fuck was you all swole up, Kamal? Was you juicing?
I'm juicing. You know what I'm saying? That's my natural physique.
No, sir.
That was,
'cause
like,
you
that was me taking some time off. What you trying to say?
shrunk.
Yeah, he was just eating a lot of them Popeye chicken biscuits and stuff like that. back
You
then.
done, you
was
done
probably
shrunk. You was
too
looking
much.
like, one of the fucking He-Man or something. And now,
Shrunk. I'm like, you can't see that well, so it's all
Yeah,
still there.
yeah.
It's all still there.
okay, nigga.
he's
I,
Let's blame it on your site. Let's blame it on that. It's all
Yeah.
there.
that's what that nigga. I see all. I see good enough, mom. That you half the man you used to be out here.
Oh, damn. Oh, we throwing shots this morning.
Now I'm gonna go cry. Now I'm gonna
Oh,
Don't
man.
go cry, don't
but-
cry. You're still
yes, he
fine,
said
though.
yes. She
Shout
said
out to Eget. She still got a fine husband out here. So yeah.
So she did, but that was in Jamaica, yeah. I've been
Beautiful.
Jamaica, Palestine, Cuba 6 times,
Damn.
Europe twice,
Son on 'em.
Africa, Ethiopia, Mexico, Puerto Rico a couple of times. Trying to think, there might be 2 or 3 more thrown in there.
Hawaii?
I've been to Hawaii. Yeah,
I bet. I see you look like a Hawaiian.
I didn't
can
like
see-
Hawaii though.
Yeah.
Let me take that back. It's not that I didn't like it. I didn't get to
Expensive.
see a lot of it. I just
Oh,
was.
okay.
Well, it was when the nonprofits that do the expensive trips.
Mm.
I was working for this. It was their board retreat, staff and board retreat. We got nothing to do with
In
fucking
Hawaii.
Hawaii, and they were like, I was like, whoa. That was one of those things. I'm not calling no names, and I was working for them at the time. But even then, I was like, it's a lot of fucking money for.
Yeah.
There was barely any
Or
retreating.
retreat.
There's
Yeah,
barely any
there's a
retreat.
lot of redrinking.
There's a lot of re-drinking. I was like, there's a lot of money to be spending. A lot of money.
Oh,
So
Kim said I'm out of here for a quick second.
I gotta do something with the dog, it's probably yeah.
All right.
But I
Well,
went to Hawaii. So yeah.
okay. Well, when we come back, I guess after this break and Kim get her camera and stuff together, we ask Kim where she's been
True.
outside of Baltimore. I don't know. We'll find out. All right, let's take a quick break and come back right here on the Remix Morning Show. Let's go. Yeah. What's good, everybody? Welcome out to the Remix Morning Show. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor. Thank you all for tuning in. Hit that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Also, go to patreon.com, become a member over there, and get footage that's rare. And please make sure y'all go to our website and donate and check out all the things we got. You go to blackliberationmedia.org. That's blkliberationmedia.org, and check out our other YouTube Remix Morning Station. Go over there and subscribe for us so we can get those numbers up. All right, so boom. Let me do a segment right here, which I call Our Business. In Our Business, we talk about black business. black business as of what happens in the black community. So what's going on in the black community? Right now, we got a little bit of beefing going on with brother Dr. Umar and DL Hughley. But this is what Umar wants.
Okay, I want a debate. DL Hughley, will you debate me on your radio? Steve Harvey, will you debate me on your radio? Ricky Smiley, will you debate me? I'll debate all of you separately or all three of you together. Since y'all run black radio and I run black consciousness, it's only right we have a clash of kings. Y'all called the kings of comedy, right? Let's call it the Kings of Comedy versus King Kong consciousness. I'm ready right now. Intellectual Ifa Tunde is ready right now.
Whoa. All right. So he's ready for this debate, I see. And what happened is your boy DL was like, yeah, we can have a debate as long as it's in the cafeteria of your school. You do not go against a comedian, man. They got jokes. But then Umar came back and said, listen, the school is ready. Let's do it. So we'll see how that go. Anyway, black business going on in the community. Let's get back to the Remix Morning Crew and talk about it right here on the Remix Morning Show. Let's go.
I'm gonna give him some credit. I wish I could throw down like that, like just the vocal acrobatics. I mean, when he goes in. All that he's saying is trash, and I don't really care about per se. But the theater of it, he's got the theater down.
He got it.
I'm not a fan of Umar.
You know your camera not on, right?
Oh shit. My bad. I'm not used to pushing buttons over here. I don't really care for Umar, but I gotta say, like, him versus these Kamala apologists is hilarious. I saw a TikTok of him yesterday. He was like, if you got a coon, if you know where you work with a coon, send them an anonymous letter telling them that they a coon. Tell them they won the Coon of the Year award. I said, that's a great idea. We need to do that. We need to do Coons of the Year and of the Month awards. Thank you, Dr. Umar. I would love to see Umar get on there versus DL and Steve and whatever. Who else? The other
He said
one?
Roland Martin and Ricky Smiley.
Hey,
What he says, since they control radio, he's like the
King
of consciousness.
King Kong consciousness.
Because you had some beef about that, the whole black radio thing, Kim. So I'm sure he wouldn't mind having you on the squad.
The politics is different. He's not trying to platform nobody else.
Oh, yeah.
That's how he make his checks. Let's remember that.
I mean, I'm not interested in Umar's audience. You know, I mean, I guess they send money. Maybe I should be interested in them, but you know,
You got a whole school that, you know.
Does he?
I don't know.
Nobody knows.
It's been 7 years. I don't know.
Was
Nobody
it true?
knows.
This was the rumor, right? That you know me, I don't like to spread rumors, but the dude, wasn't he like caught in Japan at the strip club or whatever? There was some rumor that. I could have sworn I remember that back. It was like right when the school was supposed to open or whatever. So
I don't know. But I appreciate him clapping at these individuals like that because they sounding crazy. You know, Steve Harvey talk about it's going to be a softball interview. We ain't got no hard questions. You don't have no hard fucking questions for the would-be president of the United States, and you claim to represent or be the voice of millions of black people that are your audience. You have no real questions for her. What the fuck? It's irresponsible. You know what I'm saying?
Wouldn't you look like you're attacking her if you was to ask questions?
no.
Questions?
I'm just saying.
She's the vice president. She's the vice president of the United States. She's supposed to ask hard questions.
I know.
She's not baking cakes out here. She's not selling like movie tickets to her latest movie or something like that. She's supposed to be the person running, supposedly, you know, for a job that has the power literally over our lives and how billions of dollars will get redistributed or distributed in different ways. Of course, she should be asked hard questions. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's only because, like, you know, what folks think about us in our community that they would even peddle that kind of bullshit. And I just, I mean, it's American capitalism at work or whatever, or the marketing scheme. Because I mean, he's not alone. Like if you see most of these interviews, the questions they ask people, or you feel like, are you talking like, is this a third grade interview or something like that? Like, what's the whole point of this? It's like show and tell or something.
Yeah, because they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose the people that's behind Kamala. They're gonna lose that big crowd and be like, oh, well, you're another black man that's against a black woman, and you're trying to take her down by asking these questions.
But
Could
she's
that be a
asking
possibility?
us for stuff. No, she's asking us for stuff, right? Doesn't she want us? Y'all better show up and get out and vote.
Facts.
Voting is not a simple task, by the way, for especially black people living in the South, in the North. It don't even fucking matter. Black people across this country have challenges accessing the ballot box for whatever reason. So it's an effort. She's asking us black folks to show up and do something for her. So why should we not in return be asking her to do something for us? And for that even to be framed as unreasonable or being mean to her, or, oh, you trying to stand against her, the fuck? That's just how politically immature we are. You know what I'm saying? The whites is demanding, okay? The whites demand. We don't demand. We just go, she's not Trump. And if Trump gets in, y'all, I don't know what people think is going to happen when Trump gets in that's currently already not happening. You know what I mean? It's a interesting way of looking at this whole
The fact that Steve Harvey is even the person that anyone expects to be doing a presidential interview and taken seriously speaks to the character of the politics in this country. Steve fucking Harvey. Like, I don't know what journalism school Steve Harvey went to that he should be the person that you're going to, right? Two, the person that's even there's a rationale or reason why this person should be doing an interview. But if he's going to do it, the very least, if he's going to propose, like, it's not even like if he's going to position himself, and he is allowed to position himself as somehow some serious interviewer at this particular juncture in society, of course he should be asked. I mean, it's just rhetorically stupid of him to say that and to try to get away with it, because it just exposes again the way in which mass media works, the way in which pop culture works, and the way in that politics works in the United States, or it doesn't work in the United States. And
it helps to continue this myth that simply because somebody black holds the office, that person is going to do right by black people, right? And I'm just so confused at how people are either misremembering or not remembering at all the Obama years. We had 2 terms of Obama, black folks. What did we get? Oh, we got the Affordable Health Care Act. Cool. How about your healthcare premiums? What they looking like after the ACA passed? What your prescription prices looking like? I mean, the tangible material thing that was gained by black people under Obama, people have a hard time telling me what that is, right? So my point is, we've already seen this game. This game has already been run on us. So we're just going to go for it again. We're just going to go for it again. And what, we're going to go for it again in 8 more years with Wes Moore? Like, I mean, what are we getting here?
No, you're right. That's what people do. People go for it because people continue to and again the excitement that's been generated around her all of a sudden, it's all made up, and it's the clearest example of the big show that we've ever seen. Like, I think in a very long time. Again, this person who received, I know this is also a Republican talking point, but I think it's so true. Like, this person who has received not a single vote from anyone to be the president of the United States, didn't go through any nominating contest or anything, was able to propel themselves, and later donors and everybody else propelled her to the lead of a ticket. Somebody who couldn't even, when they ran for president, win a single delegate. They handily got beat in a debate by, what's her name? Tippy. Not even
Marianne Williamson?
No, the one that turned Republican.
Oh, the one that Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah, I was like, she out-talked you. You know what I mean? Like, you couldn't. she left flanked you on the debate and made you look bad and shit. So, and that person is now propelled to be some sort of sensation and idol that we can't do without, or the next Obama. It's just crazy. It just shows how marketing works, how the whole the scheme of how politics works is is nothing about the individual, nothing whatsoever. It's just it's a mannequin, and you could dress that mannequin up, and you can make that mannequin perform in certain ways. I mean, and again, the Democrats are not the only example. Bush is a perfect example of this. Bush knew nothing and did nothing, and at the time before Trump, had to be thought about as the dumbest human being possible to be running a country. Like, just, I mean, people thought that Bush was just like a clown, right? Incomprehensible at times. It's like, who is this dude? But a machine was put around him to make them a serious challenger, and somebody who actually won the presidency again twice. So, you know, before Trump came along, it was like Bush was the standard of dumbness.
Yes.
And then Trump came along and just broke all barriers for what can be considered stupid.
That's why I'm saying we just voting for mascots of corporations. It's just puppet heads. They ain't not. So,
That's right. You're not wrong. You know.
Oh boy.
Politics, I tell you. They waiting for Ear Doctor and Kamau Franklin to run for office. You know what I'm saying?
Never that.
I'm good.
Yeah. Kamau Franklin will be building alternatives, organizing in the street, doing radical work as hard and as long as it takes. That's what Kamau Franklin would be dedicating his time on. You know,
I couldn't take the comments. I'll be out here punching people in their face. What you say? We ain't behind the screen no more.
Councilman Knocker, I came to your office and they told me that you was at the DJ shop or whatever. Oh Lord.
Anyway, yo, big up to Knowledge. I went to the vegan social yesterday over here in Atlanta, and the brother named Knowledge came up and said, I watch y'all every morning. So big up to Knowledge. Hope you watching us again today. All right.
Good morning. Yeah. Good morning. What's up, everybody? Good morning across the country. We appreciate you guys getting up with the Remix Morning Show.
All right. I guess I could get out of here and let y'all get to some news. Y'all got some stories? I'm sure Erica laced this.
Yes.
No? All right.
Yes. No, we got stories. I'm joking. You
need a little time to pull them up? Or you good?
Wait a minute. Before, did you send me an email, Kim, for anything you want?
I did. I thought I did.
Oh, damn.
Okay. Wait a minute.
Well, while y'all getting that together, make sure y'all tune back in at 11 o'clock. We got a classical breakdown.
Very excited about this episode. Very excited.
Tell us why you picked this artist.
So because I'm realizing, you guys, like, we are literally about to lose a trove of Black musical knowledge and recognition of the musicians. So we're doing I just drew a blank. Louis Thunder Thumbs Johnson, one half of the brothers Johnson. Why he's an ancestor now, but Thunder Thumbs. If his nickname is Thunder Thumbs, aren't you interested? Doesn't that immediately pique your interest? And he was a studio session player on a lot of big records in the 80s for, the likes of Michael Jackson and P.O. Bryson, and I mean others. And I was on Wikipedia trying to figure out exactly what songs he played on. And you guys know, y'all are of the vinyl era. Were you guys liner notes readers? Did you guys used to read the liner notes?
A little bit.
Okay. Well, shout out to Reverend Dr. Jared Ball. I know Jared Ball is a liner notes reader. I too was a liner notes reader. So what was in the vinyl or CD liner notes? It would include the songwriters, who produced the song, who mixed and mastered the song, if it was rap, what samples were used. If it was a musical presentation, it would tell you each and every name of the musician and what instrument they played. It would tell you the name of the city where the song was recorded and the name of the studio. Mm-hmm. But you go to Wikipedia, you don't see none of that, or very little of that. It's not very comprehensive. So as much as the Wikipedia is very much viewed as this vast repository of knowledge, when it comes to the minutia, I should say, of 20th century Black music, shut up, Ear Doctor. When it comes to the details, like, it's not there. So future generations are going to not even know to look or who these people were that were playing on these records. So Louis Johnson is somebody that I want to highlight, because in addition to the artists, but the musicians, I think, are just as important as whoever was singing lead or whatever the name of the group was. So the people that played the instruments and played the shit out them instruments are we need to know, and the youth need to know too.
Yeah.
So are y'all going to highlight some of the different songs that he played on during the thing? Okay. So that's why you're not telling us now.
Exactly. You got to come check it out.
I got to come back at 11 o'clock for that. Now I'm like mad interested. Now I'm like, what?
Hey.
My assumption is like Brothers Johnson, they were so funky and hot a couple of real big hits back in the day, like, you know, and they were obviously musicians, right? So it was like the Insider. So my assumption is he played on a lot of good records.
He did. Air Doctor, I want to add a song to the joint too.
All right. Well, we got an hour in between, so
it sent me looking up Louis Johnson sent me down a rabbit hole, and I went down a Billy Preston rabbit hole.
Oh, yeah.
That would be another one.
Whoa. Whoa.
All right. Well, we're gonna get it. Y'all could come back at 11 and get some of this minutia. I'll check y'all later. Peace.
Did I use minutia right? See, now he got me questioning.
You use it right.
Okay,
He obviously doesn't know what he's doing. So yeah. No.
Oh Lord. Okay. Come on. I'm so happy to be on with you this morning.
Me too.
Your glowing, lovely face. How the kids doing?
Kids are doing gorgeous and beautiful. We dropped them asses off at school, got there on time, threw them out, kicked them out, be like, get out the car, whatever.
So the boy is his last year of elementary?
No, the boy is in 3rd grade.
Oh,
The girl is in 7th grade. She
Start
is
knowing
next
them.
year.
Start knowing them chicks out there in 7th grade. I know Maya is. They all
7th grade. Oof.
Go ahead.
But they're now back in the same school too. Like she wanted to go back to her old school. And in spite of ourselves, we let her go back because we were like the other school she was in was this high academic achieving school where she was doing fantastic, but she didn't like they didn't want him to talk at lunch. And even I was like, oh, goddamn, no, like when do the kids get to talk? I mean, they're like 11, 12 years old. What else they going to do? They want to chat it up.
That's what I was saying earlier. These kids can't even talk in school.
Yeah, that was a bit, even for us or me, that was like, oh, that was a bit much or whatever like that. So she wanted to go back to her old school, which is a decent school. We like it. Caleb's already there. So we were like, all right, we'll let you go back to the school or whatever. As long as you don't drop off on them grades, you can go back. Whatever.
I'm so impressed. I'm impressed with the whole equation. I'm impressed with Maya for having some self-assuredness and autonomy to know what she believed was best for her. And I'm so impressed with her parents who were receiving to that information and let her kind of make a decision, of course, with your guidance. That outstanding parenting, Franklins. I love that. Good job.
We are great parents, particularly one of us in particular.
Time will tell. We'll see.
That's true. It is way too early.
10 years.
No, you're right. You're right. I take that all back. It is way too early to take credit. No, you are extremely correct. Right now, I do have some bragging rights. I don't say this out loud too much, but I look at some other people who I know and I look at their kids. I'd be like, I got you.
Oh, shit.
In your head, you do that a little bit. You go like,
I do that too. I do.
You do that too. I do. It may be terrible to do, but I like in the slide.
Damn, your kids ain't got no manners. Just walking here. Speaking of,
wasn't my daughter delightful when I took her to the dinner thing?
Yes, when she looked up from her screen. Yeah.
Well, what's she going to do? Engage? And that's what she said. She said she was going to come. She wanted to eat. She wanted to have some steak with us. It's like, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine look up in your eyes and give you
she's 12. She's 12.
Yeah.
She's 12.
Mine too.
I live with mine though.
Oh shit.
We could battle. We could battle, son. Your kids
we can battle. You can come back on the screen and battle now. Oh, battle over parenting with me.
Who's the better daddy? Live in or live out? Go.
Come on now. Come on. Obviously, are you going to come back on? We're going to do this?
Nah.
We're not going to do it. We both do our own thing with our kids, and I'm sure they're happy about it.
You have beautiful kids. I like when I see you get the shots of you and your kids. They are well taken care of, beautiful, smart kids. So I got nothing bad to say about your kids.
Thank you. Yours are too.
And your kids call you. Like, again, there are subtle signs I can tell of good or bad parenting. And if your children call you and ask you for things, that's good because they know that there's a chance that you might actually respond, right? But
my son don't call no more. He's really in his 19. He's just like does his own thing now.
He's a young man, so he's trying to find his way and be independent. So that's good. But he knows he can call you though.
I still bust his ass on the basketball court though. So that's
really?
All that matters. Yeah, I do.
I doubt that.
Okay. He got me. He can beat me running now. He might can beat me running. But he still can't beat me on the court. So.
I also am that sad old man that thinks I can challenge 19-year-olds to like running I remember like even 10 years ago, and at 10 years ago I was still old, at 47 or whatever. There's this young brother who he had to be like 27, and we did like a running thing. It's like, of course I'm gonna keep up with you and stuff like that. It was so. I mean, I finished, I didn't get lapped, but there was a couple of moments. It was like cramp, cramp, cramp. That kind
My
of
guess is that, you felt that the next day and the day after that and the day after that, right? You did,
Yeah.
you was trying to hang tight in the moment, but that oldness jumped on your ass the next day. And
The
you was
ankles was hurting, the foot was hurting. It's like, ooh, I'm gonna need a little break from that. But anyway,
like, I was headed. Slap the map time, everybody. It's the Remix Morning Show. Good morning to all here on Black Liberation Media. My name is Kim Brown. We've got Kamau Franklin in the building, Ear Doctor in the building on this good Thursday, August the 29th. I'd like to welcome everybody to Virgo season. Happy birthday, Virgos. I'm a fan, Virgos. I'm a big fan of the Virgos. Y'all have, usually good taste and well-organized thoughts, and I appreciate the work ethic of the Virgos. Virgos are very on point folks. So shout out to the Virgos and shout out to everybody else. What's that number one birthday sign? I said, what's that number one birthday sign?
Scorpio.
Is it Scorpio?
Yes.
No. Is it Leo? Yes.
No.
Is it Gemini? No. Is it Libra? No.
It's your birthday. Let me stop.
Yes. So we've got some news to get into for you guys. Do us a favor. Participate. Shout out to the infamous, wonderful, infallible chat, the Remixers chat in here. We appreciate it. And please don't forget to go over and subscribe to the Remix Morning Show YouTube channel. Subscribe to I Mix What I Like as well as a YouTube separate entity here on the mothership of Black Liberation Media. We still pushing and prodding and doing what we can in these waning days of Black August. So please support the programming that you see here by going to patreon.com/Black Liberation Media. You can also support us on Cash App or at blkliberationmedia.org. Become a sustaining member where you can, help us out on an ongoing monthly basis. We certainly appreciate it. Kamau, do you have any updates on that front?
Well, I'm very disappointed.
Oh, wow.
Very disappointed on that front.
Whoa.
Last week I was very happy. This week, not so much. We're gonna talk later. People claiming they got rent to pay, they got mortgage, they got food, they gotta buy shoes for their kids, all this other things that don't really matter, of course, in real life. What matters is that they donate to Black Liberation Media. So I feel like it's going down a little bit as I watch in terms of the website. People, medical bills, they paying, I don't understand what's happening here. So yeah.
Understand what's happening, Kamau. Capitalism is happening to us all every day, every second of every day. And the fact that we get any support is extremely appreciated. Big, little, small, it doesn't matter. Even the free support is appreciated. Maybe not by Kamau, but by me in particular. I appreciate the free support. So comment, chat, like, engage, subscribe, send people the content. Do the things that you can right here for Black Liberation Media. So thank you.
You're very good at that. All right, I got your story pulled up. You want to start with your story?
I hope it's the right story. I think it is.
Florida deputy charged?
Yes.
Right.
So, there's been so many, unfortunately, it's difficult to keep up. But for those that were paying attention earlier this summer, a senior airman named Roger Fortson was murdered in his home by a sheriff's deputy. Roger had answered the door because long story short, fuck it, let's go to the package. But it was unclear whether or not the Florida deputy was initially going to be charged with murder because he claimed he was in fear for his life. If you saw the body cam footage, which was released, impossible that this cop feared for his life when Roger Fortson answered the door with his pistol in his hand, pointing down, finger off the trigger, which I thought, legally allowed to do. But I know, constitutional rights don't actually apply to Black people. So we're not actually allowed to possess guns legally or otherwise without cops fearing for their life. So this cop has now been charged in this murder. So here's the update.
Tonight, the Florida deputy who fatally shot senior airman Roger Fortson in his doorway, now charged with manslaughter with a firearm.
Sheriff's office, open the door!
Okaloosa County Deputy Eddie Duran was responding to a domestic disturbance call back in May when he approached Fortson's apartment in Fort Walton Beach. Duran's body camera video showing the 23-year-old airman answering the door, a gun in his hand, pointed toward the ground. Within seconds, the deputy shooting Fortson repeatedly, killing him. Duran, later fired by the sheriff's office after an internal investigation determined his use of deadly force was not objectively reasonable.
We deserve justice. My brother deserves justice.
For months, Fortson's relatives demanding that deputy also be charged. Tonight, in a statement, the family saying in part, "Nothing can ever bring Roger back, and our fight is far from over. But we are hopeful that this arrest and these charges will result in real justice." If convicted, that deputy could face a maximum sentence of 30 years in state prison. Victor Oquendo, ABC News, Coral Gables, Florida.
I'm not clear whether or not he is. Was he given a bond? Is he in jail? I'm a little perturbed at the omission of that detail from that package. But it's been a tragedy for this family because obviously they suffered the loss of Roger. And I do believe that the family, which is based out of Atlanta, the mother lost another son, I think even maybe a month after this incident with Roger. And he was killed in a gun violence incident in the Atlanta area. So it's been compounded, obviously. And I think Crump is representing the family for whatever that's worth. But the charging of manslaughter, what are your thoughts here, Kamal?
Oh, I mean, the video was clear, like you said. Like the officer immediately started shooting as soon as the door opened. And so, I mean, manslaughter, it should be a murder charge, I would think, to start off with. But you know, the fact that it's taken this long, they're going to allow the cop to get a story together. I can see, you know, I'm not hopeful in terms of winning a real conviction in this case. I think they'll probably get a civil lawsuit that will bring the family some resources, but I'm not extremely hopeful in terms of a conviction on this case because they're going to use the gun in hand, even if the gun was down and his finger wasn't on the trigger by any means. They're going to use that as a rationale to claim that the cop's life was in danger. So, you know, and a lot of times we get these charges pressed because there is so much community outrage, and the fact that it even takes in our community outrage for there to be any pressing of charges against a cop in the first place tells us where we're at in this society. So never, you know, not even withstanding the possibilities of getting a conviction in something like this, but the level of organizing you have to do to even get a prosecutor's office to do their job, to obviously get the police to do their job, to get a judge to the court system to do its job. You know, it's Herculean, right? It's the reason why people get so tired day in and day out of, like, you know, what you have to do to get one particular victory, and you know, not even withstanding this whole systemic thing that you also need to be fighting for, that we also need to be fighting to change. But to get one person charged takes so much effort. You have that family out there. I'm sure there's been multiple press conferences, multiple marches and demonstrations, interview after interview, all to get the state, to get the prosecutor, to get the city, to get the government apparatus to move, even to get this person indicted or charged. So, you know, we should just continue updating the story, because I think it's going to be something that may not play out the way in which we would like it to, because my suspicion of what they're going to say, because the person came to the door with a gun in their hand. In
Florida, though, you know what I'm saying? Like, for the cop to react that way, it's like you don't see people with guns in Florida. It's uncommon for a person to come to the door with a gun in their hand, again, pointed down at the floor, not pointed at anybody. And again, the reason why Roger answered the door with a gun in his hand, because he wasn't clear who was at the door. And why was he not clear who was at the door? Because the police really had no reason to be knocking on his fucking door. And this case featured an element of it that we've seen in other instances of when our folks have been murdered by the police. The cop was sent to the wrong address. Okay. The full body cam shows a white woman greeting the cop when he arrived, and she's giving him this information. Yeah, this apartment, they've had a lot of domestic violence there. I'm paraphrasing, but not. But
Yeah.
and so she sent him to Roger's door, the wrong fucking door, right? And this happened with John Crawford in Ohio. It happened with Tamir Rice in Ohio also, where some cracker calls the police because it calls the police on a black person not doing anything wrong, not committing any crime, not even causing a disturbance. And the police arrive and murder this black person. And there's no consequence or repercussion for the fucking piece of shit who called the cops with bad information in the first place. It's disgusting. And it gives me Carolyn Bryant energy in a way. You know what I'm saying? The woman who set the mob out on Emmett Till. Like, Emmett Till didn't do anything, but based off the word of this white person, here come the cracker cavalry to enact some blood justice. It's gross that there is never no consequence for the person who sent the police in the wrong direction to begin with.
Yeah, and you're so right, because the police are already ready to shoot, right? They're already geared up to want to shoot somebody, to want to beat somebody down, to want to show that they're in charge. And so these situations always turn out bad for who? Not the cop.
Never.
They always turn out bad for the person whose door they go knocking on, or who they stop in the street, or who they pull out their car, because the aggression already there by the police is that I'm going to shoot first, I'm going to show you who's in charge, or I'm going to knock you out, that kind of thing, to relive they old testosterone filled football days or whatever they were on. Like, they're already hyped up to do some damage to somebody, so they're coming there looking to do some damage. And you saw how he knocked on that door, like ready to knock it down or whatever like that. And yeah, if you're not expecting, like, who the hell is knocking on my door? And like you said, in Florida, in a state where you're encouraged to come to the door with your gun, or encouraged to wear your gun on your side, or to have it close to you, someone's banging on your door that hard, like, you're like, what the hell is going on, right? So it makes sense. Like you said, it makes sense that somebody's going to be careful, have some protection, be wary of who's knocking on their door. And that this cop is already pulling out, blasting away, it's the mentality, it's the system, the way it works. Black life doesn't mean anything. Killing black people doesn't mean anything. And it keeps happening over and over and over again, because the whole system is meant to work like this. And this is how people are trained to work. Our lives don't mean that one dead black person is, for them, it's a way of saying, for the rest of us, that this could be you. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
And it's ironic to me that, we've seen a number of cops charged and some not charged, but a number have been charged in connection with murdering black folks unjustifiably. But it doesn't seem to discourage them, right? They don't seem to stop trying to kill us. And it's kind of the same principle. Like, laws don't really work to discourage people from doing shit, right? So this insistence that we have stricter laws passed on the people, whereas the police themselves don't even adhere to laws, or even seem to be fearful of any lawful repercussions. They continue to do this in spite of a handful of them being, charged and hopefully convicted in this case for the murderer of Roger Fortson.
Yeah. Well, as a slight companion story to that, story I just pulled up, judge rules Breonna Taylor's boyfriend caused her death.
Oh my God, I'm a
throws out major charges against ex-Louisiana officers.
Louisville.
I'm so sorry, Louisville officers. So it's a federal judge has thrown out major felony charges against two former Louisville officers accused of falsifying a warrant that led to Breonna Taylor's door before they fatally shot her. Well, let me read that again. Officers accused of falsifying a warrant that led police to Breonna Taylor's door before they fatally shot her. U.S. District Judge Charles Simpson's ruling declared that the actions of Taylor's boyfriend, who fired a shot at police the night of the raid, were the legal cause of her death, not a bad warrant. Federal charges against former Louisville Police Detective Joshua, I think it's Janes, and former Sergeant Kyle Meany were announced by U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland in 2022 during a high-profile visit to Louisville. Garland accused the two officers who were not present at the raid of knowing they had falsified part of the warrant and put Taylor in a dangerous situation by sending armed officers to her apartment. But Simpson wrote in the Tuesday ruling that there is no direct link between the warrantless entry and Taylor's death. That makes no sense whatsoever.
Not at all.
Simpson's ruling effectively reduced the civil rights violation charges against the two officers, which carried maximum sentences of life in prison. The judge declined to dismiss a conspiracy charge against Janes and another charge against Meany, who was accused of making false statements to investigators. So the major charge that they kept was that they lied to their fellow investigators, but being the cause of the woman's death, that they don't need to be charged for that anymore. Says when police carrying a drug warrant broke down Taylor's door in March 2020, her boyfriend fired a shot that struck an officer in the leg. Why? Because they knocked down his door. They knocked down their door. What else were they supposed to? They thought they were being attacked. Walker said he believed an intruder was busting in. Officers returned fire, striking and killing Taylor, a 26-year-old black woman in her hallway. Simpson concluded that Walker's conduct was the proximate or legal cause. That is so crazy. While the indictment alleges that Janes and Meany set off the series of events that ended in Taylor's death, it also alleges that Walker disrupted those events when he decided to open fire on the police. So if he didn't open fire and they shot and killed them anyway, which they were going to do anyway, then they would have come up with some other excuse as to why they weren't the proximate cause. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Well, it makes sense in the context that Black people don't have any constitutional civil rights, right? And this is what we need to explain to our Cop Mala supporting Democratic Black friends. We don't have rights in this country. And this country keeps telling us, they keep proving us, they keep putting it in our face. You don't have the same rights here as white folks. What did Tawny say? The Negro has no rights that any white man is bound to respect or abide by. And this goes for someone kicking in the home of a Black person. I mean, just in the days of yore, you just supposed to sit there and let the mob come snatch you out and get lynched. How dare you defend yourself? Like, how dare you try to resist or do anything in defense of your life or the life of your loved ones, and you will be punished. Or those that were responsible for the death of Breonna Taylor won't be punished. No consequence whatsoever.
Yeah, it's just on its face. It's like you knock down somebody's door in the middle of the night. What do you think is going? What is supposed to happen? What are they, like you said? Like, are you so? Let me just lie prone. I don't know if it's the cops. I don't know if it's somebody breaking into my house. Let me just sit here and wait. That's it. They're just to sit here and wait, right? In a society that, again, encourages you to be able to defend your home, right? Your home is your so-called castle. A society that encourages you to purchase guns, to have guns, to defend yourself as an individual, that says, don't tread on me. Anybody and everybody has a right to defend themselves except one species of human beings, and those are Black folks. So Black folks defend themselves against somebody invading their home. The cops kill them and they get charged, or they're denied the act of defending themselves as some intervening event that is the cause of the cops killing, murdering Breonna Taylor. As I remember, the idea is that Breonna Taylor was in her sleep, if I'm not mistaken, when she was killed. So the fact that this person was murdered in their home, doing nothing at all, and the judge basically defends those cops, lets those cops off. And again, this is not about a system not working. This is about a system designed to work this way, to protect cops, to protect white folks, and to tell Black folks that you have no right to defend yourself against the violence that we perpetrate against you.
Yeah. And your little Second Amendment rights that you thought you had, you'll be a legal gun owning citizen, someone who is permitted and licensed to carry. Yep. That's just paper. that doesn't mean anything in the moment. Because if you guys remember, Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, he was charged in the immediacy after Breonna's murder. I can't remember what the charges were, but they were eventually dropped because, again, ridiculous on its face that this man did not have a legal right to self-defense with a firearm when people are forcefully coming into his house. I don't like it here, Kamau. And again, this is why we have to overturn the whole system. This is why Cop Mala is not the solution, the answer. She ain't the way. She ain't the Messiah. She ain't shit. Okay. Like Cop Mala is going to uphold the system. Look at Joe Biden's Department of Justice. Merrick Garland can't do shit with this. You understand? Like the whole system has to go. It doesn't matter who is at the head of it at any given time, red or blue. It is all anti-black all the time. And we have to recognize that and be willing to confront it and confront our people that are defending it. It's weird.
I would bet you that if this had happened in California when she was the prosecutor, she would not have prosecuted those cops. In the first story we did, or in this story, she would not have prosecuted those cops. She would not have tried to find a way to bring charges against those cops. She wouldn't have stood strong. She would have been the first apologist for all of this happening, because she continues to be an apologist for cop behavior. Again, look at it. You said, look at the Democratic platform. They've dropped everything that they had that had anything to say about police brutality, police misconduct, finding alternatives to funding the police. All that is gone because they don't need it anymore. They're like, that wave is over. Like we rode that wave. We integrated that wave into what we wanted to do. That wave is over and we don't need it no more, because we got what we need out of it. And you're going to have to vote for us anyway, because you ain't come up with no alternative solutions. And we already captured a certain class of your folks to tell you to come out here and vote for us. So they already are. They on to the next. You know what I mean? But speaking of on to the next, speak up to ear doctor.
I think a lot of people forget that we are prisoners of war and just like social security numbers. Like that's what we're looked at as. I don't give a fuck about us. So, but you can't talk too bad about Cop Mala. You know, I forgot to tell you about what she's planning on doing here. Let me.
What's she planning on doing, ear doctor?
Just my glasses. We're looking at middle class tax cuts. We're looking at lower housing costs, lower medical costs, and lower grocery costs. This is all she is promising.
And none of that will happen.
Well, let me to quote a very wise man. What are the methodologies, baby? What's the methods? How we getting there? what's the roadmap? Where how we getting
don't ask those hard questions, Kim.
Please.
Don't you ask those questions. She said it, and so it will be. Don't you ask those questions.
Don't bring that black woman down.
Yeah.
What did I hear that Kamala said? She gonna construct 3,000 new homes? I can't remember what the number was. We got new home construction. I'm like, bitch, we don't suffer from a housing inventory deficit. We have lots of housing. We don't need to build new housing. What we need is lower housing costs so people can afford the housing that is sitting empty and vacant right now in lots of places across the country, because they are determined to make renting at minimum onerous and buying absolutely impossible. So none of this sounds feasible. Or
she said lower housing costs.
But what does that mean, doctor? Lower
providing $25,000 in down payment support for first-time home buyers.
Now, if it does it have to be repaid? I mean, that sounds good.
First of all, they're not passing no policy that's giving $25,000 across the country for people to pay for a home. If they want to, like you said, if her prescription is to bring down housing costs, then you need national rent control.
That's right.
That's what you need.
But don't that make sense to put mad people in debt, like off the top, like get a house and you'll be in debt? So that works though, right? If you give them that loan, and then
they're not giving you no money. That's all. They're not. That's the start there. You ain't getting no 20. Just like you ain't getting no real college debt relief. Only a few people got that. All the promises around taking away college relief. They're not allowing you to do that.
Y'all, my homeboy works in finance, and he was like, KB, he's like, I'm starting to see. He's like, the banks are starting to craft 40-year loans.
Damn.
Think about that. Just think about that. Just think about that. A 40-year mortgage. I mean, 30 sounds ridiculous. 40 years. Do people even live to be 80? You know what I'm saying? But again, like understanding that we are going to be debt slaves, really, for in life, from the cradle to the grave. I guess that's the purpose, to make sure that you are permanently a debtor in owens of something.
And anybody who sees those mortgage payments, if you ever paid a mortgage, you know when you look at your principal versus your interest, what you're paying, it's like if your mortgage is $2,000, $1,800 of that is all interest. Your first 5, 10, 15 years of paying. You don't really get down to the principal until like 5, 6, 7, 8 years. But that first, all those upfront payments, most of that is all the interest. So they get all that interest up front on you, claiming that you own something that you don't really own. You know what I mean? And that's why the market is all about selling, because you get it, you hold it, then you try to sell it so that you can, hoping that the market goes up. But if it don't go up, you stuck. And you stuck paying them. You stuck paying that interest for the next 10, 15 years.
Damn, that's just like if you look at America as a plantation, it was like, okay, y'all slaves, y'all can get these houses, but you're going to have to work this land until this house is paid off. So it ain't nothing changed.
Nope.
Nothing has changed, yo. Nope. You are indentured slaves, and you will be paying for the rest of your life.
And that's why we have to communicate that to our would-be patriotic people. Isn't it weird when Black people are patriotic? Oh, America. What? So I mean, again, what patriotic? Why? Where? For who? For what? I mean, we owe no allegiance to this country. This country has shown no allegiance to us. Anything that we do have, we had to fight tooth and nail, blood, guts, and everything for it. They didn't just give it out of the goodness of their hearts. They didn't realize the error of their ways in mistreating Black and brown folks. No, any relief that we got is because we demanded it and fought for it. So there's nothing. What has America done so good for you or to you to engender all of this loyalty and weird misplaced patriotism? It's strange.
You got a certain amount of freedom.
Like what, my guy?
You can say what you want to a certain degree.
Haven't we learned?
You can do what you want.
Can we say what we want?
To a certain degree.
You can do what you want as it comes to buying things and going to festivals. Watching your favorite show, watching movies. So as long as you're putting money back into their pocket, you can do what you want. But don't you challenge the way the system works.
No, Jack.
Don't you challenge like how come them bills are so high in the first place? You just go. What you can do is choose. You're going to go to movie A or movie B.
There you go.
Those are your choices.
Free options.
That's right. You want which one of these 15 different soaps gonna make you feel good about yourself when you lather up? Those are your choices. Which one of these commercials we threw in front of you that makes you think, oh, if I wear Nikes over Adidas, over Reeboks, ooh, I am so cool. Which one of them choices that really, really, really matter in your real life? Those are the choices that you get to make, not how the money that you make and you earn and you produce for this society gets spent. Those choices, that's none of your business, right? That's how we're treated. And you're right. Those same patriotic people, though, when you get them one-on-one behind the scenes, they talking mad shit about America. They in your ear, they got mad shit the way, But it's almost like the people half the time admit, Black folks I know, half the time admit it's a hustle. Or half the time they're missing, they're at least they're saying to you, like they just think they got to maneuver like this to get some things done. They don't believe half that shit they say themselves. So they know they can't believe it, particularly ones who are well-read. But they do it because that's where that's where the coin is, or they're rationalized for themselves that this is how you play the game, that kind of thing. So it's a lot going on up in there. That's why it's so hurtful for me sometimes when I see some of the people who I've had conversations who they know what America is. They know what America is. Popping that shit about voting for Kamala Harris. I was like, are you crazy?
Oh,
you know better than that.
Oh, man, the black sheeps. That's what we all are. But let's go ahead and take a quick mental health break after all that killing and stuff.
Now you got to play Black Sheep. Now I want to hear the choice is yours. Look at that. Perfect timing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if I had it put together, I would.
One-hit wonders?
Yeah. No. Oh, they're not what they got. Strobe Light Honey and Flavor the Month. Stop playing. They got 3.
For the flavor.
Ooh,
I remember that.
You really got to go. See, they got 3
songs. I remember, but come on.
Okay. All right.
Engine.
One album.
Number 9. Come on.
One album. All right, let's take a quick break right here on the Remix Morning Show. Remix on the remix. Let's go.
another day now, baby. I seem to think of only you. Yeah, yeah. Never thinking for a moment, baby, that you've been thinking of me. Yeah. So I can't wait for the day that we can be together. I can't let you walk away. Can't you see, you and me wanting to be your baby? And there's nothing left to say. Can't you see what you do to me?
Come on.
I love what
Meant to be.
you are made for me.
All right, let me take you to a time and place, y'all. Let me take you back to 1995. We talking about the album, the infamous artist Mobb Deep. Name of the song is Temperature Rising. Will feature artists Crystal Johnson and Crystal Nicole. All right, let's mix that with some more 1995. We talking about Total. That's right. Off the New Jersey Drive Volume 1 soundtrack. Can't You See? That right there had also Biggie Smalls on it. So there you go. A little remix on a remix. Hit that like button, subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Go to patreon.com, become a member over there, and get footage that's rare. And yeah, share like you care. And once again, donate, don't hate. BLK, liberationmedia.org. All right, let's get back to it right here on the Remix Morning Show. Yeah, boy.
Plan slipped up, got caught up in a crime that you can't take back. Reminiscing how I used to pick you up in the act.
Yeah. Boy, ain't nothing like some Mobb Deep, boy.
Sheesh.
that Prodigy and Havoc. Oh.
The infamous. Well, I mean, what an album! Like it still bangs,
Classic.
and it's all violence and selling drugs. And shit, but
It is. Big up to Total.
yeah, Total. Yeah.
Yeah. So nice little something right there. Nice little New York mix.
Nah, it was good.
People. Yeah, I'm
Shout
sure
out
you
to
liked
New
it.
York. What's up, New York? How's New York doing out here today?
Great as always.
Hot
I'm not even there, and I know just the vibes I get. Like we send messages to each other.
Do y'all?
We New York, of course.
Where them joints? Y'all say kites? I'm sorry. Let's
They
use the
say
gun
kites.
language. What y'all
Ain't
saying?
in
You
jail.
know what I'm saying?
We do pigeons. We send our messages through pigeons. You know what I'm saying?
I got again. You got to credit New Yorkers because they exported their culture, the slang, like everywhere. You know what I mean?
Everywhere.
And I've never been to Brooklyn. I could name you 10 hoods in Brooklyn. Never seen it.
Exactly. Now we can only do that for the revolution. If we could only do that same thing for the revolution.
Yeah.
But Brooklyn, we dominate.
I don't know. Queens niggas run y'all Brooklyn niggas. Ask Mr. Simmons. That's what Nas said in Ether.
Yeah,
I said, whoa, some of these lyrics ain't holding up, bro.
Yo, speaking of drug-induced lyrics and stuff like that, I got another new album that came out. I'm gonna review on the next break, so stick around. It's a good album. Though.
Who dropped the new album?
Stick around.
You think you're teasing out here, Air Doctor?
I like that.
Stick around for that remixer. Thank you guys for being here. Black Liberation Media, Kamal Franklin, Kim Brown in the building. You guys in the building. It's the last day of the Remix Border Show for this week, of course. You can join us here every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday mornings, 8 a.m. Eastern. Shout out to our host, Jacqueline Lukebon. What's up to Ricky Ryan, LJ? Who else be on this joint? Reverend Dr. Ball. Who else be on this joint with us? Shout out to Erica Brown. Erica came on and made an appearance and gave us the Invest Fest recap, which I appreciated. Thank you so much, Sister Erica.
I know. She did a great job.
Yes. Yes. So do you have investments come out?
No, nothing.
Good for you. I respect that.
I just don't believe. Yeah. I mean, early on, there was a time in college where I thought about it. I met somebody and they started going through market stuff, but I just never had that strong interest to be like, oh, I'm going to be watching the market. I'm going to put money here, taking money out, blah, blah, blah. and just because, you know, in my personal world, I don't know anybody who like, you know, it's like that's how they came up on. They like, oh, I'm rich now because of these market investments. So no, I've never done that personally or individually. Obviously, I know that, you know, the few times I've had 401ks or the rest of it, that's invested in market, but no personal investing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they couldn't even convince me on the 401k tip. Like, oh, Kim, if you sign up for the 401k, the company will match you. I'm like, well, why don't you just give me the money?
Exactly.
You don't have to match. You can just give it to me. I'm saying whatever the fuck you was gonna match, you can just put it in my pocket. You don't. What's this matching shit? I don't understand that.
Exactly.
And you know how like they say, you know, trauma can be passed on through generational, you know, DNA. Like we feel generational trauma. I feel the trauma of the Freedmen's Bank. You feel me? Like I I have it's in me. I'm like, put my money with the crackers. Why would I ever do such a thing? You know what they do? They steal. Did you know that they steal everything that they touch? Show me a point in history where they wasn't stealing. What the fuck makes y'all think they not stealing right now? Your shit.
And if the market was so good for everybody, why everybody ain't got some money right now?
Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
The market that be crashing, that be losing all, everybody be going broke because the market crashes and you ain't got no money in it. Come on now. Come on.
And I feel bad for these InvestFest attendees. I feel like most of them are like, you know, millennials and younger that really just think that their parents, and maybe some of their parents did make bad financial decisions, but whatever. But they were making the decisions based upon their circumstances, right? So it's not even so much that our folks manage money badly, as it were, and we didn't have no money to manage. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be too mad at the elders for not having, you know, all kinds of shit set up. It'd be nice, right? But even those that did try to plan, you know, I'm thinking about Malcolm X's people. Didn't Malcolm X, his mother was denied the life insurance that they had taken out on their father because they alleged that his father committed suicide when in fact he was murdered. So even our folks that attempted to do some sort of quote financial planning or estate planning, they were denied at every turn by the system. So we have to be a little bit more kinder to our elders and be like, well, why didn't they leave shit? I don't have no. Not dog. It's America. Yeah. Black in America. So that it's set up for us not to have anything.
So what's the alternative to a bank?
You have to have a bank. Unfortunately, you have to have a. You have.
Hey, my nephew is at the door. Let me go let him in real quick.
So why are you up here asking?
You got to just go off the screen, man.
You up here asking questions for? If you can be banked, I mean, again, we have to survive this system, right?
Yeah.
You have to survive capitalism. So I mean. Yeah, a bank account, unfortunately, is one of those requisites. And people in the what's it, the lumpen economy. Shout out to the lumpkins, but the lumpen economy, you know, they be unbanked and have to hustle. And even y'all niggas who was banked have to hustle. Like, come on, we can't be so judgmental.
Particularly these days when you know cards rule. Everybody got bank cards. Like cash ain't king no more. You got to have some kind of card. So. Yeah, I mean, and again, like no one's sitting on nobody who tries to do some planning. Yes, of course you try to do. I tried to do some planning. You haven't. You try to take out insurance. You do some other things.
All right. So
you just come in. What are you gonna do? Oh, who this?
This is my nephew right here, man. He in town, man. So I just wanted to let y'all know.
What's going on, Neff?
What's
your name? What's your name?
What's your name? Kofi is in the building. Born on Friday.
That's hey, right. Hey, so, happy early birthday, Virgo. Wonderful.
Yeah. So that's it. You go sit down.
Oh.
Uncle Naka.
You overproduce with your family. You overproduce. Just overproducing.
My bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were y'all talking about?
Money.
Banks.
Okay. Hustle.
No, you were talking about banks, and then you just went off the goddamn screen, and then you came back.
I didn't answer the door real quick, man. This is live.
Yes. No, we all know that, nigga. That's what I'm saying. We all know it's live. But we don't be bringing up banks and then getting off and coming back and demanding banks again.
What's your point about banks, doctor?
I'm just wondering, is there really an alternative? Like, it seems like we got to use these banks.
Which we agree with. We just said that. We agree that, like, you know, I mean, obviously there's other things, you know, folks are talking about credit unions and other things like that. But one of the problems, again, with all this stuff, why we folks, like, even in terms of like the organizing work, we were going to put our money in a credit union, but the way the credit unions work is you don't get your money. You don't get you put a check in. It takes like 2 weeks for the check to clear. You can't take out a certain amount, or there's so many rules that stops it from being as efficient as the corporate banks, which again are given better rules, so to make you do what? Put your money in there. So we got to do for some things. You know that you got to set up some alternatives. That's going to take a minute. That's going to take a while. But if you're not working on the alternatives, then you just not doing nothing really, but allowing the system to keep on going. So we got to figure out what are these alternatives, these credit unions, these other ways in which we can help prosper and move some of that money around. But ultimately, it's organizing.
I tried a susu. Yeah, I tried a susu before, but
we all do susus. I like to get that little bank all at once too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what a susu is, Kim?
I don't. Can you tell me?
What a susu is?
Look, see how y'all do, people that don't know stuff.
What? All I said is that she don't know what a susu is. I didn't know like
it's the tone.
Really?
Exactly.
Like I was surprised.
Like you big dummy. You don't know what a susu is?
No.
big dummy overtone.
They do it to me all the time, Kim.
I know it.
I didn't mean that. I didn't mean it as in that overtone.
It's okay.
Tell her what a susu is, please.
Educate. Yes.
It's a pyramid scheme. So
pretty much.
What you do is you get 10 people. Everybody puts money, like $100 in, and every week one person, or every month, however you design it, but everybody gets a sort of a rotation. So everybody, 5 people put in $100. One person gets
I didn't know it, and I didn't know how to name, but
Yeah.
that's what all the immigrants do, right? The migrants.
Yeah, exactly. Black folks got it too. Yeah, everybody. So you get all the, it's not like you getting more money than you put in, but you get a lump sum.
Yeah,
and you could do something with it.
Yes,
So
you can.
that's all. That's what a susu is. It's just a way.
Should we do that? Can we do that here?
You gotta trust the circle.
Oh,
Well, that's good too.
Yeah,
No,
you
people
gotta
don't want
trust
to.
the
Yeah, you
circle.
got to make sure that the circle don't fuck up.
Yeah, because somebody might not have it that month to put in, but then it'd be their month to get the money.
And some people have tried to professionalize it where you got you got some group acting as a bank. So if somebody missed their turn, then somebody put the filler in, but that means that person ain't getting their turn back or something like that. But you do got to trust the people, because that can be some hard knock life if you miss your turn.
For real, so
No.
hard knock life.
Bring my money, yeah.
Well,
I'll
But
let
it's
y'all
not,
get back
but
to-
but some people do use it for whatever, for the come up in the short term. But it's not like a large, community wide strategy. I think in and of itself, that whatever. But it's again, I'm not mad at the one offs. You know what I mean? If this helps one person do a little something here, this helps some other group do a little something there. Again, we got to try all that shit, all that.
I mean, because that could be rent, that could be a vehicle, that could be a down payment on a larger
Yes.
purchase. Like I could see. Yeah, no, I'm familiar with the concept. I just didn't know what the name was.
Yeah, so now you learn. Hey, before I get out of here on this break, I'd like to give a big up to ZZ Lion Dad. I see he didn't get hurt in that Atlanta airport thing, so big up to ZZ Lion Dad. I know he's working out there. So
ZZ
And
Lion.
before you go,
Thank you.
what up?
yeah, no, before I want you on, because I'm always out the chat. But Connecticut niggas should never talk about Brooklyn.
I see.
I'm just saying. That's all I want to say.
I got you.
You
you.
from Connecticut.
I
should
know,
Never.
man.
Brooklyn should never come out your mouth. You from Connecticut.
Get
That's all I
Brooklyn
need.
out your mouth.
That's all I need to say.
Keep Brooklyn out your
Connecticut.
mouth.
I feel bad for Connecticut sometimes because when people, not from the region or from the area, the New York tri-state. Well, what's the third state? And people don't, you know what I'm saying? The tri-state area.
No, it should have been.
is
It should have
Jersey,
been
New
Philly.
York? What's the third state? People be struggling to figure out what that.
They
third
do. They
It
be
should have
thinking
been
it.
Pennsylvania.
In fact, people say Philly.
Yeah,
I know it's not a state, but people will say Philly before they say
they will.
Connecticut.
They will
Yeah.
say Pennsylvania. They say
Yeah,
Philly.
New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. New York, New Jersey, Philly. Oh, what?
That's what I always
No
thought. This is
respect for Connecticut out here. Gee.
Bridgeport. Bridgeport?
like who goes up there? Anyway, let me get out of here. I'll see y'all next break.
My boyfriend in high school was from Connecticut and not from the hood part. And that was my only time to Connecticut. It was a little underwhelming, but I'm sure it's lovely.
It's Connecticut. Yeah. It's definitely underwater. Yeah. All right, y'all. Black Liberation Media here for you. We got a couple of donations. I checked the box. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Appreciate the couple of donations. They don't pop up live on the screen, so we know you gave. Other folks don't. So want to thank y'all, the ones who did give. There's always time for folks to give a little bit more. We on here for another 35 minutes. So, give me the loot. Give me the loot. You know what I'm saying? So we can do some good things with it. I got another story pulled up. Can I do the story?
Absolutely.
This is a good story. So last week was the Democratic National Convention, which I really wanted to go to for the protests. I screwed up my own schedule, so it's my fault that I did not get to go.
Need an
But there-
assistant.
I probably do. But I don't like all that idea of an assistant.
But then you be missing shit. you see, you see.
But I'm okay with that usually. I'm like, if I make 6 out of 10, I'm like, it's a good week. Okay.
Touche. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But a lot went down. And one of the things that did go down was that there was mass protests. But some of that protest, it wasn't at the level I think some people even thought it was going to be. Some people thought it was at a high level. But again, media did not cover the protest. There wasn't enough shit broken. So that's one reason why they didn't cover it, because it was like, oh, these protests are
too peaceful.
Too peaceful in some ways, although of course there might have been some direct action that wasn't covered. So apparently somebody did a survey of the protests, and I think some of this stuff is interesting to even sort of talk through a little bit. So a survey of the protests at 2024, and the title of the article is "Pro-Gaza and Far Left Activists Dominated the 2024 DNC Protests." And it says, here's what we learned from surveying hundreds of protesters. So some folks actually went out and had conversations with folks who were protesting. And I'll read the first opening paragraph and skip down to some things that caught my eye.
Where's the piece? Where's this piece from?
This piece is from, it says, On Good Authority.
Okay.
There's some, I think several different researchers. So this is a piece that, it's not just a sort of a casual man on the street, people just taking in some information. These folks decided to do a literal survey and calculate the numbers they saw, compare it to past elections and all that kind of stuff. And so it says, in terms of their survey method or whatever, their collection method, to examine who participated in the DNC protests and how their participation compares to protests at previous conventions, we collected 257 pen and paper survey interviews of randomly selected protest participants in Chicago, but between the 18th and the 19th. It looks here at 2 particular events. It says these interviews follow the same protocols as previous surveys outside previous Democratic and Republican conventions in 2008, 16, 24, building on our earlier research. I mean, that's what we need, more researchers as people are protesting. People are handing out like surveys for folks to be like, oh, why are you here? And all that kind of stuff. So they collected the numbers.
Interesting.
Of what they say took place and what were people's sort of mood, objectives. And so here, their first headline that they say is that DNC protesters were more issue focused this year than apparently in past years. And it says, we asked respondents to tell us what motivated their participation in protests this year. We gave them a list of 13 reasons to choose from and requested they select up to 3 of them. The leading reasons at this year's DNC protest was to express my dissatisfaction with the current U.S. political system, 67%, followed by to help make the world a better place, 56%, to express my views on a particular issue or issues, 48%.
Okay.
It says the largest number of protesters, it says a large number of protesters we interviewed mentioned the plight of the people of Gaza as of the respondents who wrote in a specific issue or issues. 82% mentioned Gaza, 17% supported women's reproductive rights, such as access to abortion. 6% cited LGBTQ issues, so forth and so on. So according to the survey, the attention to Gaza sort of dominated the reason why most people were at the DNC.
And do you think that the DNC delegates took notice? Do you think the Harris Walls campaign paid attention to the tens of thousands of people out there in the streets directly protesting their policies in support of Israel's genocide of Palestine? Again, I think the Democrats are going to fall asleep on this issue. They are underestimating how pissed off people are about this and how willing we are to make the Democrats suffer a presidential defeat behind this issue and others. Yeah, nobody wants Trump to be president, but I don't want any of these fuckers to be president, to be honest. And if one of them got to take a L because they don't want to listen to their would-be base, then that's just what's going to happen. And I think the recent ruling with a judge allowing for Dr. West to remain on the Michigan presidential ballot, I think is actually going to be somewhat consequential. And that also could be a reason there were so many, not to say that the only reason, but obviously the proximity to Michigan could have been why so many people came to Chicago, right? Because there's many Palestinians and Arab Americans in Michigan, and that's 5-6 hour drive. So we could be right there. So I don't think that the Democrats are taking this as seriously as they should. And it's wild to me. I'm sorry not to cut you off.
No, you go. You finish. I'm sorry.
They don't want to. They don't want to bring West and De La Cruz and their platform into the tent, right? They don't want to. Okay, well, the Democrats are trying so hard and I shouldn't say try, they are succeeding in getting these third-party candidates removed off the ballot. It's like, well, instead of trying to get them off the ballot, why don't y'all consolidate, right? Like, why don't y'all give in or bring some of their issues and incorporate it into the Harris Walls platform, so that way you don't have to literally be undemocratic yourselves by removing choices from out the hands of voters about who they can vote for president. Why don't you bring those issues into your platform? But they can't do that. they can't do that. But it's wild. Your thoughts, Kamau.
No, I think, and I want to go back. We'll continue on with some of the other findings. But I think that you're right. I think the Democrats have successfully marginalized the protest through their strategy of marginalizing left voices, even in their party. And I think this goes, obviously the Democrats are completely committed to the genocide that's taking place and are only looking for ways to bring cover for the genocide that they're paying for. They're not looking to stop it. They're not looking to derail it. They're not looking to minimize it. They're just looking to make sure that those who are voicing oppositional voices against the genocide have no power whatsoever to stop them from continuing to commit that genocide. And that's even voices within their own party who are not necessarily overtly against it, but who even question it, right? And we saw with the two representatives, Cori Bush and I think Bowman, who were challenged not by the Republicans. They didn't get defeated by Republicans. They were defeated by their own party and the Israeli lobby, with obviously with the consent and support of their party and their party leadership, to challenge these two folks who challenged the genocide that's taking place. And so the Democratic strategy is to challenge and to ignore and to forcibly put people on their heels, right? And we look at the encampments, those encampments, even though obviously they were taken apart by local cops or at a municipal or citywide level, that was a coordinated effort, right? There's no way that those encampments all started to get moved upon at around the same time. To me, that spells of national calls, national instructions from the larger Democratic Party base, telling all of these Democratic mayors in these local areas to get these encampments done with, out of the news, out of these colleges. And because we don't want to deal with that as we continue to perpetrate the idea that these encampments are anti-Semitic and so forth and so on. So I think the Democratic strategy is to push off, destroy, arrest, demoralize the base of support for Gaza, and at the same time to control the narrative. And again, they have people who are helping them out, because even the folks in the uncommitted, area of Michigan, and who had something going with saying all these folks, until they came out with stronger policy on Gaza, that they would not commit themselves to voting for Biden at the time and or Kamala now. Those folks have soft pedaled their reaction to what's happening in Gaza, and they've made statements that are not like, we're not voting for you. We want you to do better, and then we will vote for you, basically has been their message. And even as the Democrats has told them, fuck you, we're not going to do better. But you still going to vote for us, right? You still better not say nothing bad. And so they safely corralled these, I think most of the demonstrations, which were big, by the way. These weren't small demonstrations, but they were corralled. They were successfully organized to make sure that the disturbances were minimal. And any disturbance that did happen wasn't really covered on national news. And so the other thing that the news has used, they've been successful at now, is saying, we're not going to cover the things that we don't want the larger public to see. There may be people taking actions of direct action and civil disobedience. We're just not going to cover it. So all that to say is I completely agree that the Democratic strategy of ignoring when necessary, when putting cash to knock people out when necessary, when using the police when necessary, has been effective in some ways in minimizing the amount of anger that's out there against their party. And again, the smartest move they made when they saw how ineffective Joe Biden was going to be was to remove him, and to whoever at that point was going to be the person. I don't think there was a complete buy-in that it was going to be Harris at the beginning, but they knew for sure that Biden could not stand up to any questioning or even get some words out to challenge, to push back against any policy issues, and that they needed a more effective spokesperson to get out the word around their genocide, and to challenge Trump. And I think they went ahead and did that.
What's wild about okay, so I'm looking forward to when Kamala Harris has to sit down with an interviewer, and I think it's going to be CNN's Dana Bash. And I know the question that is not going to get asked about what's happening here regarding the pro-Palestine demonstrations is the question that should be asked is, for all the thousands of people that have come out in support of Palestine and against the Israeli genocide, can you tell them what would be different? What do you think would be different about the situation if Trump were to be elected versus if Kamala Harris were to be elected? And the answer is nothing. There is going to be no fundamental difference on Israeli policy on arming Israel, regardless who gets elected. And I think most people probably know that by now, right? But I'm sorry, I have successfully drawn a blank. I had something in my head and now it's gone. So
No. I'll fill in the blank until you get it back, because you brought up Dana Bash.
Yeah.
And so the fact, and again, let's look how slick this is. The fact that Dana Bash, an open Zionist reporter, is for CNN, the supposed neutral, the most so-called neutral or middle road media outlet there is, mainstream media outlet. Dana Bash, and her questions will be geared towards not how to stop the genocide, but how to stop the terrorists from hurting Israel. All of her questions are going to be geared to get answers which will be sympathetic towards the Israeli white supremacist cause, not to challenge her stance on stopping a genocide. And so even the media's slickness and how they will make sure that the questions go so that she won't, again, not that she has any different viewpoints anyway, but that the questions will be geared to make sure that they are done, that they're given and answered in such a way which furthers the narrative that Israel somehow is under attack by the indigenous people of the land itself, right? Almost as if the U.S. cavalry was under attack by the indigenous people. So that's the way the questions will be answered, will be asked and answered in the first place. And that's how the media operates.
To your point, I remember what I was going to say about the dystopian coverage of the protests. It was like it wasn't even there. It was like it wasn't happening. And I said this on my show for people that watch, watch us from outside the United States. You have to know that you probably got better coverage of the DNC protest in your country than what Americans received in America, where the shit was actually happening. And it's even worse than smearing the protests, Kamal, because what we saw was outright erasure. Fuck even bother trying to portray them badly. You know what I mean? As these riotous, anarchists and these people that are, bent on destroying property. No. They gave minimal to zero coverage. That shit wasn't even there. And to me, that's way more insidious, like way more evil, way more showing how much they are trying to distort reality to folks, and that's very scary, extremely scary stuff.
No, I think so also. And then the other thing, at least according to this survey, which could have spoken to why there wasn't more disturbance, and I do think having Joe Biden at the very end leave the race as president and replaced by Harris probably had some impact on this. But you also had, according to this survey, said most protesters did not want to hurt Democrats' chances this year. And I found that part of the survey surprising. And it said one might assume that the protests against the party's convention are intended to reduce the likelihood that that party will succeed in the upcoming election. And it says, if this assumption is correct, then it is puzzling why advocates for peace in Gaza or abortion rights would want Democrats to lose in 2024. Wouldn't Republican victories be more damaging to their cause than the Democratic success? We're not so sure about that. But it said, but stopping the Democrats wasn't what propelled most protesters at the DNC, or we at least should say, according to their surveying. In asking about the motivations for protests, we gave respondents the options of choosing to help prevent a candidate from winning this year's presidential election. An exceptionally low percentage of respondents, only 2%, selected this options. This year's DNC protesters, for the most part, were not out to prevent Kamala Harris from becoming the next president. And it says here, and I'll wrap up with this part, that the protesters at the 2024 DNC were significantly less interested in damaging a presidential campaign than was the case for any of the other 5 conventions that were observed prior. So again, they did comparisons with prior years. And it says that, let me see. What was the part? It says, not only did many protesters not aspire to stop the Democrats, many of them said that they plan to vote for Kamala Harris. Approximately 35% of DNC protesters intended to vote for Harris, which was significantly more than the 15% that supported Clinton in 2016. But still a relatively, that means that approximately 65% said that they don't intend to vote. So I'm not sure why that isn't highlighted as a more important stat, that 65% of the people there are either said they weren't going to vote or did not necessarily intend to vote for her, as opposed to the 35%. But it says, but significantly less than the 54% who backed Obama in 2008. Most of the rest said that they would cast their ballots for a third party, that they would not or could not vote, or that they were still undecided. So they highlighted the 35% that said that they would vote for Harris and not the 65%. And I guess they're doing it in comparison to other years. But the 65% of protesters who were there that said that either they would vote for a third party and or would not vote or were undecided. So yeah, some interesting facts around against the survey that was done at the convention around protests that was happening outside.
Yeah, I'm hoping they didn't ask too many plainclothes undercovers what they thought. Because from what the protesters and what the organizers say out of Chicago, it was mad undercovers. Like, so they said it was so many police out there. So I can imagine maybe a police accidentally got interviewed and the person may not have known it. So
well, and maybe even the choices of what they highlighted in their own survey, because even researchers have their own ideological bent. Again, if 65% of people say to me that they're not going to vote for somebody, I think that's extremely important to highlight, as opposed to the 35% that says that they will. But that's just me. But let's bring back the Ear Doctor. We're about to do our last break.
Yeah. Hey, Kamal, I brought you some soursop leaves, so I'll make sure to get you some. So,
cancer free. I'm gonna be cancer free.
There you go. I got you. All you gotta do is put like a couple in some hot water, and you're good to go. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick break. The look of disbelief. All right, let's take a quick break, and then we're gonna come back right here on the Remix Morning Show. Let's go. All right. So it's time to talk about something new. Actually, this came out July 19th, but I'm just getting on it. It's a new album. I wanted to do a review on it. Is Stimulus Package 2 by Freeway and producer Jake One. So let me put you on to this new album right here. What I like about this album was what Pete Rock and CL Smooth did is they had one producer, just like Nas did with Hit Boy, one producer for the whole album. It makes it good. So it was good to see that happen once again. But Freeway comes, gives you a little bit of drug dealing rap. I don't know what it is about drug dealing rap. The Pusha T's, the Freeways, the Conway the Machine. Speaking of Conway the Machine, he's also on this album. Freeway has 14 cuts on this. He got Black Thought on the album. He got Sauce Walker. He got Petey Crack, and he got Jadakiss on the album. And some other not really known people. But I'm talking about some real dope beats, some melodic beats, and him floating on tracks with other people. Yeah, it's a good album, especially for the grown-up hip-hop people that like still listening to some 90s flavored type style production and rhymes. So check it out if you want to. Stimulus Package 2 from Freeway and Jake One. So my review on this is it's a good album. If we would say 1 out of 10, I'd give it a 8. All right, with that said, let's get back to the Remix Morning Crew. You know how we do. I'm in the hood when you're gambling. Sick back of wood when you're gambling.
You didn't mention not a Nas song. No way. What is it? One song that jumped out at you? You were like, "Yo, this one is a banger."
I like Keep Winning. I mean, the whole album got good songs. I mean, like beats and everything. But I like the Keep Winning with Black Thought. The fact that he got him, and I like the one he got with Jadakiss, Ringing. So those are two that stuck out. And Conway the Machine, Time. So I always like, yeah.
I'm going to switch the top. You know what I do to prevent cancer?
What do you do?
What I do is buy CMOS.
Okay, from where?
Community Movement Builder.
Nice. Plug.
Community CMOS. We're back up on the market. Folks can go to the website, communitycmos.com. Remember, our cooperative is up and running. We had to take a little break, but we are back up and running. We have this beautiful new website, communitycmos.com. So when I want to stop cancer, I take dry, we got the dry, we got the gels.
Okay.
So that's what I do. So when
you put it in your smoothies?
Put it in the smoothies.
Your smoothie.
Yeah. Again, does it, but yeah. Basically, that's how it happens. Yeah. So
where does the sea moss come from? Where is it sourced?
I think the sea.
You're going to say the sea?
There's lots of seas, though, my brother. The Sea of Gibraltar? Like, what sea we talking about? The Caribbean Sea? What sea we talking about?
We get ours from the Caribbean. Yes, we get ours from mainly from Jamaica. Is where we source our sea moss. Nice. But y'all should do that. Y'all should get your hands on some sea moss. Yeah. If y'all want to cure cancer, take sea moss. That sounds accurate, right?
I mean, it helps. It helps.
No, it cures it.
It helps. So
take the sea moss. If you have cancer and you take the sea moss, you won't have cancer anymore.
These are not testimonials that are endorsed nor condoned by blackliberationmedia.org at all.
Thank you.
This is not medical advice. This is not medical advice.
They help kill certain cells. So
my bad. Yeah. Hair growth. If you want to get your hair back, I then boom, you take some sea moss.
I'm good. All right, so that's what it is. We got
a broken hip. You got a broken hip, and you want to fix your broken hip. Sea moss.
We got about 10 more minutes left.
Uses your muscles and your bones back together.
Look at it.
Only the CMB sea moss though. No other sea moss does that.
I mean, did they teach all this at PS 234? Like, all right, New York.
How to hustle.
How to hustle.
You were very close though. PS 289. My nigga 289.
Oh, he went to my nigga.
Yeah, PS 289. You know what I'm saying? PS 138 and 289.
Is that what Miss Gonzalez was teaching you at PS 289? How to hustle?
amazing
saying,
how
though.
hype New Yorkers get when you
Oh.
mention certain blocks, certain schools. Like, yo, 148? You on 440? Oh, yo. Like, oh my God, relax already.
Oh God, don't let New York niggas see each other in the wild out of state. You know what I'm saying? Yo, my man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, word, you from New York? Word. Yo,
Oh.
can I tell you how annoying New York niggas was
Oh,
in
my
DC
God.
in the 90s? Because like
Please.
I don't understand why they lead off with their name and then where they from. Like immediately, yo, what's up? My name is Kamal. You know I'm from Brooklyn. Nigga don't know. Nobody care. Don't nobody care. My name is Kim. I'm from Laurel. Nobody cares.
Cause
Nobody
in,
cares about
cause
that.
in Brooklyn, we don't even do. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yo,
When you say you're from Brooklyn, you got fans all over the world just by saying that.
get out of here.
Let's be real though.
Yeah.
Brooklyn,
And then-
boom.
And then New York niggas is quick to tell you while they are out of state how it goes down in New York. Yo, I don't know what they do around here,
Exactly.
son, but in New York, yo, in New York, son, it don't be
That shit
like
don't
that,
fly
son.
like that in New York. Brooklyn, you don't
Yo,
let that shit go like
when
that. It don't go down like that.
when I had my pizza place, we used to tease extra New Yorkers when they came in there. One of my other people that was making pizza, we'd be like, "We got an extra cheese. We need an extra cheese. Extra New York." That's what we call. That was our code for extra New Yorkers. Extra
That's
cheese.
the code for being jealous.
Yeah. No. Yo, son, let me get one of them slices with extra cheese, Gord. I'd be like, oh, got you, my man. Big up to New Yorkers, man.
Hating.
The extraness.
Hating.
Please.
You
How
want
do
to be
you
more Brooklyn? You want to be more Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Community CMOS. Community CMOS.
Okay.
Make you more Brooklyn and Jamaican immediately
At the same time.
At the same time.
Class.
All
With a
right,
tangle
so,
with Jamaican Brooklyn Jamaicans.
so I guess a bunch of DCers would be like Slim all the time, like how New Yorkers say son.
Slim, Joe, Mo.
Slim, Joe, and Mo.
Slim, y'all big thing? Y'all say in the DC area?
Yeah.
Like, yo,
Oh,
Slim?
y'all want to hear something? Anyway, anyone remember the comedian Ralphie May? He was a white guy, big
Mhm.
fat white guy, funny as shit. Ralphie's a transition. Anyway, me and Ralphie got into it one day on Twitter, and I was trying to explain to him something. I'm like, Slim, and he was like, oh, now you're making fat jokes now. I'm like, no.
Ouch.
That's hilarious.
Slim. Everybody is slim around here. You know, Slim, Joe, Mo, what else? Bama. I don't know.
Down south is Shorty, Folk, Ken, Twin. Those are the names right now. Yeah.
Shorty? I do Shorty?
Shorty.
Yeah, but I got that from
Shawty.
Brooklyn from like 20 years ago. And
Nigga,
shit.
please. They've been saying that down
that-
south.
I got that from
It's both.
Brooklyn.
It was
Nolan's.
hey yo Shorty, but it's
Yeah.
Shorty. It's Shawty.
Shawty.
Yeah.
But I got
Shawty with
that,
a
yeah.
A.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
With an accent. Yeah, you stole it with an accent. That's cool.
I don't think so.
And added an A. So
Added You said your man passed away. You know, if you don't want to die, if you want to come back from life,
Wow.
from death,
what should he
life
do?
from death, community CMOS. You should have woke your ass right up. From the dead, B. From the dead.
All right. Now, speaking of, since we talk about donations, you can see right at the bottom of the screen, blkliberationmedia.org. And we don't mean to beat y'all on the head, but I don't understand. I don't think y'all understand that we are actually demonetized. Like, we doing this for like
don't
for
understand. We
mere
broke.
coins every week, like getting up and making sure y'all are entertained. Are y'all entertained?
Crickets?
Okay.
I don't know. How many
Just
people
saying.
are watching? Are we back on Facebook? Do we?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
do we? All right. Okay,
We got
good.
363 watching right now.
You said we are back streaming on Facebook, though.
Yes, we are.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, and nobody watching on Facebook?
I don't know. I don't really.
Does anybody use Facebook to watch anymore?
Aunties
I
and
feel
uncles.
like it's like this a vacant. It's like nobody just wants to take their Facebook pages down. So you just leave them up, and every 3 months you may go to be like, oh, Facebook kind of thing.
Yeah. You go see whose birthday it is. It's good on helping you remember whose birthday it is.
I was talking to somebody, my man, and they were predicting the end of Twitter or X by the end of this year. They were literally thinking the assumption is that it's going to fall down completely because so much money is being lost.
Well, I'll tell you what's falling down, the West End Mall. When the last time you been over there, Kamal? Oh my goodness, it's like
I've been-
three
I've been-
shops. It's
yeah.
like 3 shops in there still.
Yeah. No,
That's
it's basically what Twitter is now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
I think it's going to
Prime
be a.
gentrification.
I think it's going to be a Target or something like that. So
They already tried once to sell it off, but then there was community protest actually about it because they sold it off. They was going to put some huge hotel there. You can see it was like it was such an overt gentrification plan that even that couldn't pass muster. It was like if y'all been to, folks who know about Atlanta, you've been to the West End. They've been trying to gentrify for years, for decades, literally. But there's still a section of working class Black folks that are just holding on to them stores, and they're looking for that one big gentrification project to be the anchor that settles in there, that moves all the other property in that way. And I think the mall is going to be one of those targets that's like, yo, that's scrap this. It's almost like they've been trying for years to get the underground. Like, even though nobody goes there, it used to be this huge spot, I guess, that cats used to go to, but nobody goes there no more. But they're looking for those one big anchor gentrification projects, and I think the mall is what they're trying to target.
Well, Morris Brown about to get that hotel money from all them hotel people because they coming and getting all that land right over there by Morris Brown. I forget the name of the hood. It was a real hood. I forget the name of it. But yeah, because they getting that whole what is it, hospitality education coming there. So,
but you know what? If you don't want to forget anymore, you know what you should do.
What should you do?
You should take community CMOS.
Okay, and that way,
memory is perfect. It's like it brings you back to a point of like a photographic memory.
Yeah, because then I would remember like how.
Yeah, you didn't knew that already.
How
you
Kim
not
forgot
anything.
too. All right, well, don't forget to tune in at 11 o'clock since we got about 3 minutes before we get out of here. I got to go change my outfit and stuff like that. I can't be rocking the same shit. So come back at 11, and we're going to get into it. In case y'all didn't know, let me put y'all on real quick. We're going to be talking about Lewis Thunder Thumbs Johnson. So,
Thunder Thumbs.
All right. We got anything going on this weekend, Kamal?
No, I won't be here. I'll be in New Orleans this weekend.
Oh, I'm jelly.
So we might be starting number 9, CUNY Movement Builder chapter, doing some discussions. So I'll be there a little bit on Saturday, a little bit on Sunday. So yeah. That's my weekend plan.
That's dope.
Okay.
Lucky you.
All right.
I love New Orleans. It's one of my favorite places.
There you go with Lucky.
What? I mean, luck. I mean, buena suerte. You understand how much luck and good spirits
It's
have
like-
are part of our culture. We wish people good wishes. We wish
Luck
you
is like
blessings,
saying that
guidance,
is like what
protections.
when haters say it must be nice. You know what I'm saying? Like it is lucky that it happened to you instead of it happened to you because you deserved it. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it.
Isn't that
Maybe
luck?
I'm wrong.
I isn't
Not
that luck?
deserve. Luck is not deserving. You put in work and then you get it. Luck is like, oh, you got picked out of randomly.
There's a lot of lucky motherfuckers in the world. I mean, that's not act like luck. Everything is not purpose. Everything about life is not because you work hard. I mean, that's that bootstrap shit. It's like it's not. There's a lot of things that happen to people that we can't describe why, what, when, how. So
We just had a documentary about Fred Douglass, right? Becoming Frederick Douglass. And Frederick Douglass said that while growing up as an enslaved child on Maryland's Eastern Shore in Talbot County, out of all the slave children on the plantation, he was the one picked to go to Baltimore. And he said that one event, he believed, changed the trajectory of his life. It was luck that he was chosen. You don't think?
Yeah.
he's like, he was
I just
prepared.
don't like the word.
Kim, what you got going on this weekend?
Well, I want to thank everybody because not only has Burn It Down with Kim Brown surpassed 1 million views on YouTube, just
Nice.
recently got to 6,000 subscribers. So I like to thank everyone that has pushed a button on our behalf. Thank you. Thanks to the folks that showed up last night for my Twitch turn up. We did Big Luther. I did a Big Luther playlist. It was great, of course, because Luther is impeccable, amazing, you know.
It's so amazing.
And I don't even like So Amazing. That's the thing. Luther's dope. And Luther got lots of songs that I don't like. I don't like So Amazing. I didn't like Power of Love. I didn't like a lot of Luther songs, but the ones I did like, I liked the hell out them joints.
Okay. Well,
I
let's
didn't
talk about it next Tuesday when we come back here on the Remix Morning Show. Since it's time to go, it's 10 o'clock. And thank y'all for tuning in. And we will be back Next Tuesday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Tell a friend again. And make sure you check out all the dope shows coming on this weekend. All right,
Yep.
we out of here, y'all. So,
See y'all back at 11.
Peace.
Boy, that's when you don't know the lyrics, boy.